let me give you 14 things you can work on for 30 days, folks. And folks, I promise you, you can change your life. And I wish some of the 50%ers that, have totally left out of A.O. Williams right now, not even participating in this thing, I wish this could help you a little bit, okay? The others of you, like Jimmy, that are doing it good, this is sort of elementary, but maybe you can pick up an idea too, Jim. Number one, I think you got to be a head coach that cares. I think everything starts, with a head coach. I believe, folks, you can't show hurt, you can't show quit, you got to be totally positive. I guarantee you, folks, I promise you, Prudential will never see me quit. They'll never see me on Monday morning hurt. They'll never see me wave the white towel. I promise you that, folks. And the head coach has got to care about his people. I look back at Bob Weeson, Bob Miller, Rusty Crossan, Greg Fitzpatrick, Bob Turley, Jenny Carter. Folks, we were a family and we were together like you would not believe. I mean, we lived and died together. There were many times that these guys were ready to throw in the dadgum towel, okay? And man, I mean, it'd be me and somebody else over there with them, picking them up, lifting them up one more time, hugging them, saying, dadgummit, you can do it. Don't throw in the towel. This thing is going to be great. You got to have a head coach that cares. If you're an independent old fart, where all you care about is how much spread you get, and you want to make sure, you got to be a caring coach, a loving coach, an emotional coach. Number two, you've got to identify a vision of greatness. It's got to be your greatness, okay? I thought Bill Whittle and Bob Safford, both of them have some things they're doing for New Orleans, which is 9 months away. You got to have some short-term visions, okay? Like Bill was going from 120 RVPs, PRVPs to 1,000. Now he's not going to double. He's not going to triple. He's going 100 to 1,000. You got to have. Maybe it's right now we're just starting the Hawaii and Hawaii and Europe contest in San Francisco and Hong Kong. Maybe that's your short-term goal, okay? Maybe it's becoming a senior national sales director. We got a lot of NSDs right now that don't see themselves as senior national sales director. Jimmy Myers feels to promote 3 right now. Maybe it's you becoming an NSD, going to Hong Kong. But you got to have some short visions, okay? Then you got to have some long-term visions. See some long-term, like build a super team. Folks, why can't you build something like Hubert Humphrey? Why can't you build something like Bob Turley? Why can't you build something like Ronnie Barnes? Why can't you build something like Mike Sharp? Why can't you build something like Neil Askew? You got more to build it with today than ever. Why can't you build a national company? I don't care if you got no RVP. We all started there. We promoted one RVP the first year there was an A.O. Williams. One. There was a time in the company, folks, we were recruiting 2 and 3 and 4 people a month. We all started where you are. Why can't you build a super team? Why can't you build a national company, your own national company, your own international company? Why can't you help A.O. Williams build a historic company? Number 3, I think you got to have a crusade. I believe the crusade is the difference in a job and a way of life. I believe a crusade gives you that little extra ounce of courage. See, I think Amway and Shackley, they do all the numbers crap, right? And they show that. But see, what they don't have is a crusade. Right now, you got the crusade. This is something I'm sending out this week I'm so proud of. I can't say. I get so sick of the competition talking about them being professional. They compare themselves to a dadgum doctor and a lawyer, and crap like that. And so I did this little thing. I took a picture of a doctor here with a little stethoscope, that kind of stuff, and then an insurance agent here. And I just put the requirements. To be a doctor, you got to have about 14 years of study. 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 2 years of residency, and it costs about $150,000. That's what it costs to be a life insurance agent, okay? A doctor. Now, to be a life insurance agent, you don't have to have a high school diploma. You possibly have to study 2 to 3 weekends at a cost of $100, okay? So see, the life insurance agent, folks, hey, listen, you understand, the life insurance agent, they want to be called anything but a life insurance agent, right? They want to be called a CLU. They want to be called a financial planner. They want to be part of the National Association of Life Underwriters. And make bull, right? See, we expose, now you got to be part of the crusade. You got to be proud and confident of the job we do for the Americans. You don't ever have to back in the door at A.O. Williams. See, some of you have forgotten the crusade. That's part of building this championship team. Number 4, you got to challenge each individual. As a head coach, folks, you got to go out and you got to take every individual in your organization and you got to have private meetings with them. You got to say, now, what can you do in the next 30 days to become an RM? What can you do to become an RVP? You got to go challenge each. What can you do to become a national sales rep? What can I help you do? Man, you came in this thing to win, right? You got to have the ability to look down in this huge team and look at every one of your teammates as individuals. You got to know that spouse, know those children, care about their family, find out what their individual goals are, and help them get it. Number 5, you got to create an atmosphere of tremendous excitement. Listen to me, folks. We got to do away with these nippy little old fast start schools. I mean, don't call nothing like you go out on one side and you just got a few people there, dadgum fast start. A fast start school, you really ought to have 2,000 people there, 3,000 people there, a dadgum 1,000 people there, right? Let's quit having these nippy little old meetings and try to make somebody impressed, right? You want to say? Let's have big opportunity meetings, big fast start school, big recruiting contests, big dadgum crowds, right? Let's get on fire. Number 6, let's build some dadgum team pride. I look back at AOE, I came up with my first T-shirt I ain't average. And I know I go around the world, we use I got some good ones for Hawaii next week, And we go our T-shirts and people say, well, that's stupid, that's corny. Myers got the war zone, right? I mean, people say, well, these are adults. Bull. We got to get banners, we got to get T-shirts, we got to get logos, like a team name. The Myers International Network. We got to get a dadgum leaders bulletin, okay, and plaster something on there. We got to get inner circles. We got to get mastermind groups. We got to go on retreats. We got to build team pride. We got to get somebody to go after. Some of you ain't as competitive as we used to be. Meyer, you ought to be going after Whittle's butt, right? I mean, Thawley ought to be going after Sharp. That's one day Thawley and Sharp hated each other out there. In a nice kind of way, right? We got a lot of you settled in and say, well, these guys are pretty good guys. I've known them for 12 years now. I don't want to whip him because it might hurt his feelings, something like that. Crap, boom, right? Number 7, we got to spend time with those that want it and those that excited. Folks, you can't let the negative, disappointed, disillusioned, frustrated dadgum crybabies change you and make you like them, right? If a guy don't want to be on the team, if it ain't balls to the wall, if he don't want to win, if he don't want to sell out, put him on the dadgum bench. Don't treat him ugly, don't fire him, right? But don't listen to him. He'll talk, but don't even listen. Turn him off, right? Number 8, identify the potential superstars. Folks, I do that right now today. I look for people like Jimmy Meyer, right? I was riding in that car that was Steve Smith and Leo Jacobs and some of those ball busters in Baton Rouge. Look for the superstars. I'm looking for the next senior national sales directors, the new NSDs. You look in your organization for the new RMs, the new RVPs or potential superstars. Jump all over them, get to know them, love their family, and don't let them fail. Just like with Bobby and Bob Miller and Rusty Cross and Bob Turley. I picked them out. Is our team. That was my 7 to 10 key people. And I wasn't going to let them fail. There was no way they were going to fail. Even if they wanted to, we wasn't going to let them fail. Number 9, do it inch by inch. Do it inch by inch, folks. In 1977, we had 1 RVP promotion. Last month, we had 814. There was one time in the company, folks, that I was the only recruiter, recruiting 2 and 3 and 4 people a dadgum month. Last month, we recruited 15,000 people. Folks, don't sit there and look at Kip Ridley's organization or Ed Randall's organization and get all depressed because they've been around here 8 or 10 years. They're so big. Do it inch by inch. Take what you got right now, be proud of your dadgum team, sell out, and just get better today. Go on a 30-day commitment. Number 10, keep expanding the visions of the team. Folks, you are a dream seller as a head coach. Don't ever let people settle in. If you go get an individual commitment on a guy going to RM, before he gets to RM, you be talking to him about going to RVP, right? If you got a guy, Bill Whittle's got 5 guys going to NSD, when they get there, Bill, you start talking to him about producing NSD. Always keep expanding the dadgum. Somebody makes $100,000 a year, then tell them that ain't good enough, right? If that's all you plan to make, you're a loser, right? Let's go make $500,000 a dadgum year, right? Number 11. You keep expanding your dreams and vision. I see this 50% of the people at A.O. Williams, I said, that ain't even in the game no more, they've quit dreaming for themselves and their family. They've sort of settled into, they've got the income at a certain level and they watch their expenses and they just going to try to do the minimum to get by. You'll never be a great leader You'll never be somebody that can do something unless you keep expanding your own dadgum vision. You got to keep that dadgum sparkle, that electricity in your eye. Keep expanding your vision, okay, your dream. You go for senior national sales director. You go to build an international company. You go make $1 million a dadgum year. Number 12, don't quit, folks. Don't quit until you die. Okay? As long as you're the head coach, live up to your responsibility to being a dadgum head coach. You keep selling a vision. You keep loving on your people. You keep expecting them dadgum to win. Don't show hurt. Don't show doubt. Don't show quit. Number 13, cut your dadgum expenses. Save money. Get liquid. Many of you are blowing it right now because you got financial pressures. You can't make promotions. You can't make battlefield promotions. You can't do things on the spur of the moment because you have to consider your spread. If you ever have to think about your override, folks, if you ever have to sit down and do something to make your business hum, and you first stop to consider, how do I come out personally? You're a loser. You're not a head coach, folks. Get yourself in a situation financially where you don't have to do that. Number 14, show emotion. I look at Jimmy Meyer, who I think is a perfect leader, just like I saw Bill Whittle last week. Whittle was emotional. Bob Safford was emotional when I talked to him. He's been on a vicious pace. He's emotional about what he's upon right now, right? You've got to be an emotional coach. You know, you don't show quit and hurt to your dadgum competition, right? But, buddy, you show emotion to your people. You cry, you hug. I don't know any adult that don't need to be hugged every now and then, okay? And told they're special to you. You be happy, you be proud. You care about your dadgum people. I hope, folks, you listen to what I say. It breaks my heart for some of our leaders in AOE is to think they're a head coach just because they got a title. And folks, they just don't think right. They're not selling a vision. They don't have a vision themselves. And they just don't have that electricity in their organization. I hope you think about the 14 things I said today. I hope you go try to become a coach. I hope you give yourself, say, 30 days. You know, try to plant a few of these principles I talked about in your mind, in your organization. Have a team meeting out there. See if you can get a logo. See if you can get some kind of identification through a T-shirt or a banner or a newsletter, you know, on your team, right? And let's sell out to winning. Let's go do something big. Is that a deal?